What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1, and I am back with the Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episode 13. Next stop, Marbella. Before I start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. Y'all, happy Labor Day. Happy relaxed day. Happy whatever day you want to call it. I hope y'all weekend was great. My apologies for not bringing this video on Thursday, but I was just really resting. And I'm back. But I'm back though. I'm back today, and I assure y'all I'll be back tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Miami. My Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Anyway, so the ladies get ready to head to Marbella, and Julia lets us know that Marisol and Alexia won't be attending the trip. So we see Alexia and Marisol, and they send Stephanie a text message about them not coming. Stephanie is immediately pissed off because the cool girls don't want to get on her plane. But they tell her, listen, so Alexia lied. She said she was trying to catch up on rest. But the real reason was you felt like Stephanie was holding that plane over everybody's head. And so y'all didn't want to be a part of that. So it is what it is. Keep it a buck. Don't backpedal. Anyway, Larsa asked Julia, should she send Marisol and Alexia a text saying they will wait for them. But Larsa, just in the last episode, you was willing to leave Gertie and Adriana behind because they wasn't ready for dinner. You wasn't trying to send them no text. Even Lisa. So now, all of a sudden, you feel like... That's what I'm talking about. The cherry picking. Y'all, Larsa can go. Like, I do not like her hating lumpy, bumpy ass. Y'all, like, this lady can go. She can go. But whatever. People want to keep them suckers around. Okay? Anyway, Stephanie asked Julia what happened. So at this time, everybody's on the bus. On a sprinter. Julia explains, basically you said if any of the ladies misbehave, that they have to go since you have rules on your plane. And because, if there is an argument, if they poop on your plane, if they keep their shoes on, whatever rules that you have, if they go against those rules, they would have to then find a way back. And so those two ladies don't want to be a part of that. And Julia tells Stephanie, listen, I love you, but your delivery is kind of bossy. So Stephanie tells Julia that she's not that bossy, but ma'am, you are. You try to be anyway. And so she tells Julia that I'm not that bossy if you're about to get on my plane. Stephanie, this is what everybody is talking about. This is why Marisol and Alexia isn't here, because of this. Nobody asked you. You offered up your plane. It would have been different if everybody was like, oh, can we borrow? Can you utilize your plane? No, you offered it. And now you want to hold it over everybody's head, and you're mad because these ladies are calling you out on it. You cannot get mad about that, girl. You are weird, okay? So then she starts to cry. And I'm just looking at her like, here we go. So Lisa thanked Stephanie, and she said, y'all don't have to thank me, but they do. And that is what you want. You want for everybody to kiss your ass because you have a plane. Listen. Nicole would never act like that. Nicole would never. Can we please bring her back? Anyway, Larsa decided to take this time, while she still have her ass up Stephanie's butt, she still take the time to brown nose even more by further saying, let me rephrase that. She further decides to be even more of a groupie because Larsa is a groupie, and it's not behind a man. It's behind anybody who have money. So she tell the ladies that if Stephanie does something good, you call her a kiss ass, and it's like it's no win in this situation with her. So then she said she's dangling, y'all accuse Stephanie of dangling a plane or whatever, but she wanted to include everybody, and it's costing her $40,000 to go 20 minutes. First of all, nobody asked her for her plane. Second, she didn't want to include everybody. She was willing to exclude Adriana, and she was willing to exclude Lisa on your behalf. Am I right or am I wrong? Because I feel like I'm right. Okay. So so let me say this. Offering up the plane was a nice gesture. And but we still not gonna act like Stephanie didn't have a motive behind this plane. You are trying to be here. You're trying to climb your way here in a matter of seconds, and you just got to this group. So you using the things that you have as a way to feel more superior above these ladies. Like, you look like a damn fool. You look like a pick-me, just like your friend Larsa. That's why y'all one and the same. So I just think that I'll call it Leffany. Stephanie and Larsa are lame as all right. So Stephanie said, we get on the plane. And so she indirectly speaks about Alexia and Marisol missing Julia's event. And she was like, I'm sorry that you missed Julia's event. You love Julia so much. And a way, like, y'all had to watch how Julia was looking at Stephanie. That was the same look she gave to Gertie. And so she was like, but you missed Julia's event of her the picking of her godfather for her kids because of what I said. So then she takes this moment to be the victim. Anyway, so Stephanie said they tried to make me look bad by not showing up. And she tell the rest of the girls, if you don't agree, you are not okay. No, you are not okay. And if I was on that plane, I would have been like, no, are you okay? You are not okay, because I absolutely don't agree with that. Like, I don't think I would have went. I don't think I would have been comfortable with getting on her plane, because you have made it extremely uncomfortable for everybody else. Anyway, I just feel like Stephanie ain't that girl like that. And I also feel like she operate off of insecurities. So she used things to make herself feel relevant and to be relevant, and especially to be in this circle and to be more relevant than any of the ladies in this circle. That's just how I feel. So the ladies arrived at the house, and it was like, it's giving White Lotus. Now, I seen a little clip of White Lotus, and I don't know, but I didn't really get into it. I tried, but I couldn't. But the house was spectacular. Like, the house was amazing, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. The house was amazing. So everybody sits down to eat. Lisa makes an announcement, and she's officially divorced as of yesterday. But prior to that, Lisa was just, oh, no, not this part. She was saying that she was divorced. All the ladies are cheering her, and Larsa is sitting there under her breath, talking about congrats to what? A lawsuit? That is not funny. Like, I feel like Larsa is a hater, and I feel like Lisa needs to cut her losses with Larsa. So Lisa takes this moment to cheers with Larsa, and Larsa acting like she don't see Lisa, like Lisa not standing next to her. Like, I'm just looking at Lisa like, girl, leave her alone. Anyway, Larsa getting her confessional and said, what am I toasting to? Because Larsa would keep fighting with Lenny. This is not the end, but this is a pause. So she's going to keep fighting with Lenny like you have been with Marcus. But it's okay for you to fight with Marcus. And you already know the type of person Lenny is and how he treats Lisa. So yeah, it may be a fight, but it's not going to be on Lisa's end. It'll be because of something Lenny did or something Lenny said. Like, Larsa is a hater. Like, Larsa tells Julia that she wished Alexia and Marisol was here, and Julia was like, I don't hold it against them. And I'm looking at Julia like, so you're not mad at them for you coming there to, you wanted to share the news with them about you asking somebody to be your godparent for your kid. But you got mad at Gertie because Gertie meant she had to get off the call, but she kind of got back on and she kept trying to reach out to you, and you made it a point to get so mad at Gertie about this Zoom call. Got it. So Stephanie did say in her confessional, Julia is giving him a whole pass for missing the biggest day of her life. Now, although Stephanie gets on my nerves, I'm gonna agree with her. You're gonna be okay with them missing it, but you wasn't okay with Gertie when she had to get off the call to take another Zoom call. But she immediately got back on, and you refused to tell her what was happening, and you shunned her. Got it. So Marisol and Alexia, they're not talking about anybody arguing. They're basically talking about Stephanie and how she's acting about her plane. That's it. That's the end, and that's the beginning, and that's the end. Well, that's why it starts and that's where it ends. So Lisa takes this time to act like a damn groupie, acting like you don't know how to act with amongst rich people or people that are more wealthier than you, and you are wealthy, or you was living on Star Island. Like I don't know. But I will say this. Julia did ask Derek, his name is Derek, to be the godfather of her boys, and he says yes. Adriana wished that Julia would have asked her to be the godmother. And I just feel like with Adriana, you can go ahead and hang this up flat screen, because Julia ain't your friend like that. Like, she'll ask one of them girls before she'll ask you now. And I think that that's unfortunate. I think that the ladies at this point should stop figuring out where they stand with Julia. You can clearly see where you stand with her, and that's all the way over there, while she stands over here with the other girl. She have made her choice in her picking where she want to be. Anyway, Kiki says to, I want to say Gertie, she's not ready to talk with Adriana. She will wait until they head back to Miami, and maybe then she'll talk to her. So Adriana's talking to Lisa, telling her, she's still trying to explain her way. She was like, I didn't mean to say ratchet. I meant to say wretched. And I would like to give Adriana a pass. I really do. So let's say that she meant to say wretched. And let's say that she have a thick accent. We gonna say all of that, and we just gonna let it go, because it is what it is. So Julia, she tells Derek that her girls are still not talking to her, or her husband. What's her husband name? What's Julia's husband name, y'all? I'm sorry. I always pick Martina or Martina. I guess my question is, why do her girls need to adjust to the adoption? Like, did you literally not tell them? Like, why, if you didn't tell them till after the adoption process, why didn't you tell them? Why didn't you feel like the people in your core group should have known about this, and that was your girls? Or were they against the adoption because in some ways, if something happens to you and Martina, then the responsibility of those boys will fall on them? Like, it's a lot of holes in this story, and I feel like she's putting it out there. It's a good storyline, but I feel like if you can kind of expound on your storyline just a little bit more, because I feel like it's some holes missing in this story. Not, I don't know. But I wanted to ask y'all this. Is it me? Or do y'all feel like Mr. Derek is a little touchy-feely? Like the way he was touching on the women, and I'm just looking at him like that is not okay, and it was just letting him, and the way I would have bent Mr. Derek fingers back. Don't put your hands on me like that. Don't touch me like that. Okay? I don't know you. Don't get fresh with me. Like, even though he wasn't getting fresh with them in a way, because we know clearly he likes men, but still, Because your preference is a man, it doesn't mean that you get to touch on these women the way that he did. And maybe I'm reaching. I could be reaching. So so I guess we have this conversation about this Stephanie again in the plane. And I want to say, this is what I wrote. At the end of the day, they didn't want to stay because of your rules and how you were acting. I'm tired of hearing about this plane. And another thing I actually wanted to point out, y'all can create this trip for Alexia, and I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Y'all created this trip for Alexia. Y'all celebrated Stephanie's birthday out there in Sevilla, and y'all actually celebrated the adoption, Julia's adoption, by throwing her a baby shower. But we still don't celebrate Gertie and her overcoming cancer. All right. I'm going to leave it alone. So Stephanie has a chit chat with Alexia. She pulls her to the side. Everybody returns back from Marbella, whatever. And all the ladies are together. The man is singing, the people done sung happy birthday to Stephanie. She cries. She questions that. Because it's like, how are y'all going to say, happy birthday to me, but then y'all have a problem with me being on the plane and I thought we was cool. Whatever. So Stephanie and Alexia go on the side, have that little sidebar. She wanted to explain about yesterday. She wants Alexia to explain about her not coming on the plane. Why? And Alexia said Marisol should be here to explain why. You both agreed that you both didn't want to be on the plane. So it turned into this full out argument. So Alexia, I'm sorry y'all, I'm fogging. Alexia take this time to start the backpedal. And I'm just like, why are you backpedaling? You said what you said. You didn't want to be on the plane for said reasons. Not because you were tired, but because you didn't want to be around someone who has all these rules and regulations about their plane. So, Alexia then tells Stephanie, you're being condescending right now. Stephanie says, the Julia and Gertie said that. So apparently she said Julia and Gertie said she was dangling the plane over everybody's head. And I'm looking at her like, how did Gertie get in this? Gertie didn't tell you nothing. It was Julia and Julia only. And she told you about how you were acting towards, about your plane and who you want and how you was just stressing out about your PJ, basically. Anyway, I was like, girl, why are you lying on Gertie? You a liar. Like, she was a liar. So Stephanie tells Lisa that Stephanie told Lisa, that's when everybody came circle back to the group. Alexia was the one who wanted me to leave you behind. And I was just looking at Stephanie like, no, bam. This was you and Larsa. Because when she came to the dinner, she was late. You told Larsa to eat fast. Then, when y'all got together, you asked Larsa, how do you want to handle this? Do you want Lisa to come? Larsa put 20 on 10 and said, I don't want to ride in a plane, in a boat, or in a car with her, whatever because she made that comment. And that is how y'all decided Lisa should get the boot. And then Julia and Alexia had a conversation with Lisa about her and her phone. So no, ma'am, you don't get to put this on Alexia. And Lisa asked, who wanted me removed from the plane. And Alexia said it was Larsa and Stephanie. So Larsa came over there popping her big ass lips. Larsa said Stephanie didn't ask, but she wanted Lisa removed because she knew Lisa wasn't going to pop off. And Lisa tell Larsa, you're working overtime to try to have the ladies go against her. And she is. Like, Larsa is doing the absolute most. And I really hope next season y'all find somebody that stay on Larsa's ass all the way. All right? So Lisa calls Larsa Petty Pippin. And then Alexia finally admit that they didn't want Stephanie dangling the plane over their head. So at this point, Larsa has her finger in Lisa's face. Lisa called Larsa lumpy and bumpy. I'm tired. Alexia and Marisol are arguing with who they arguing with? Stephanie, Kiki, and Kiki, what's her name? Kiki and Gertie is pretty much my thumbnail. Y'all getting ready to see is that thumbnail that I got up, and that was me. Because guess what? We black girls gonna stay up out of this. Okay? We black girls staying up out of this. So everybody decide, let's just go back to wherever we need to go back to. So Adriana apologizes to Kiki and vice versa. Marisol starts to cry. Everybody gets to their prospective places. Marisol cries to Adriana, Kiki, and Gertie, and I'm just like, what? About, how she's over it and how everything, it's just all bothering her. Stephanie and Larsa thinks that, well, not Larsa. Stephanie thinks that it's more Marisol and not Alexia. And Alexia says to Lisa and Julia that Stephanie is trying to create conflict and Larsa is up her ass. And then they see the funeral and they think it's God. And then this prayer that Larsa and Stephanie did that was just horrific. And this is where the episode ended. Y'all, this was a lot. And I know I didn't gather up a whole lot like I normally do, but I think the arguing at this point is starting to be somewhat of a nuisance to me. But it is still good. This show is really good. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know if I also wanted to. I do feel like the apology Adriana gave Kiki was really real. I do. And so y'all know Adriana is back in my good graces. It wasn't gonna take long. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about the lumpy bumpy comment about Stephanie, how she acting on this plane, like Julia not being so mad at them, but she was mad at Gertie for not feeling like Gertie wasn't there for her at the most important time, on that Zoom call. Like, it's a lot, y'all. And again, if you have not, also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel on your way out. I am still on the road to 500. We are 39 away from 500. And next time I will see y'all is tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Peace.